Hello, we are Team J, and I am Maya.
And I'm Melissa.
And today we are going to be presenting our marketing research project. In our study, our objective was to investigate the relationship between an individual's level of narcissism and their fitness facility choice.
The motivation for our study stems from our interest in finding out the subconscious factors that drive consumers when choosing a certain gym facility and membership. Specifically for this study, an individual's level of narcissism. This information would be interesting to marketers because it could help show how differing levels of narcissism affect socioeconomic decisions and situations. Furthermore, the findings from this study can aid marketers to best appeal to their target market.
After investigating what interested us most about this topic, we outlined what exactly we wanted to know once our study was complete. This led us to formulate two research questions. First, we wanted to know if the majority of 18 to 28-year-old individuals who have memberships at fitness facilities generally go to full-service gyms or specialized fitness boutiques. Next, we wanted to determine if an individual's level of narcissism had any influence on this decision. While evaluating secondary data sources, we were able to find information on fitness trends and membership trends, but were unsuccessful in finding anything that evaluated the correlation between these two specific variables in this age group. By answering our research questions, we believe we will be able to understand this segment of the market more clearly and therefore have more knowledge on what truly motivates them in their purchase decisions.
In regards to our research design, we created a questionnaire through Qualtrics in order to collect information from our respondents. When creating the survey, our overall goal was to reveal the correlation between an individual's decision to choose an all-purpose gym or a specialized fitness boutique in relation to their level of narcissism. We chose to replicate a portion of our survey from the NPI-16, a 16-item narcissistic personality inventory used to determine an individual's level of narcissism. From there, we decided to choose 5 questions to measure the 4 subdimensions in the narcissistic personality inventory. These subdimensions are superiority, self-ascribed authority, self-absorption, and entitlement or exploitiveness. These specific traits directly coincide with characteristics individuals possess when displaying certain levels of narcissism. In order to measure an individual's level of narcissism, each of the 5 questions we chose from the NPI-16 had 2 different statements that respondents were asked to choose from that most closely reflected their feelings about themselves. One statement was reflective of what a narcissistic individual would feel, and the other was reflective of what a non-narcissistic individual would feel. Based on the respondents' answer choices to each of these 5 questions, they were placed on a scale between 1 and 2, with 0.2 increments in between. A score of 1 was narcissistic and a score of 2 was not narcissistic. Additionally, the key variables in our study included an individual's average level of narcissism, determined from the average score of their responses to the 5 questions mentioned above, and types of fitness facility, specialized or all-purpose, our respondents had a membership to. We chose to categorize these fitness facilities into these 2 subcategories. An all-purpose gym facility was defined as a fitness center that provides exercise equipment, exercise machines, trained staff, pools, and/or activity rooms at a location other than the individual's home. Examples of these included Aztec Recreation Center and 24-Hour Fitness. A specialized gym facility was defined as a fitness center that specializes in group exercise with a main focus on one type of exercise. Examples of this include Core Power and Spark Cycle.
On this slide, we present 3 tables that show the composition of our sample. The first table, labeled Gender, shows that our sample consisted of mainly females, as they made up roughly 70% of our population, and males made up roughly 30%. To the right of this table, you can see the dispersion of scores that were reported for individuals' level of narcissism. 2.8% of our sample was a pure narcissist, 20.8% was completely not narcissistic, and the most common score was a 1.8, which was 35.8% of our sample. In the bottom left, there is a table outlining what percent of our population goes to all-purpose facilities and what percent goes to specialized facilities, which we will analyze further on the next slide.
We first analyzed the results that applied to our first research question regarding where the majority of 18 to 28-year-olds have memberships. We did this by going through our responses and classifying individuals as members of either all-purpose or specialized facilities. On the left, there is a frequency table that displays the number of people who fall into each category and what percent of our sample they make up. As you can see, 78.3% of our sample attends an all-purpose fitness facility, while 21.7% attends a specialized fitness facility. On the right, there is a bar chart that visually depicts these percentages. The bar chart also allows us to see how small the proportion of specialized facility members in our sample is compared to all-purpose members.
Next, we analyze the results that pertain to our second research question. To do this, we averaged the scores people received on the narcissism questions and compared it with the type of facility they attend. We then ran a correlation test to determine if these variables had any sort of linear relationship. As you can see in the table on the middle center of the screen, we generated a correlation of negative 0.089. This shows us that there is no correlation between these two variables.
The results from our first research question revealed the majority of 18 to 28-year-olds who have memberships to a fitness facility attended an all-purpose style gym. We can interpret this to mean that all-purpose facilities are more popular and likely have a larger customer base than specialized facilities. Since we are assuming that our sample is representative of the population, we can determine that the all-purpose market is more profitable. When we analyzed the second research question, we found that there was no correlation between an individual's average narcissism level and their choice of fitness facility. We can interpret this to mean that marketing to individuals based on their level of self-interest may not be an effective strategy. Again, assuming that this sample is representative of the entire population, we recommend that marketers investigate other motivations and common personality traits among members.
After analyzing our data and answering our research questions, we have identified a few steps that could be taken by marketers in the future. First, we suggest that this study is replicated using a larger sample size. This will ensure that the study truly is representative of the entire population. We also believe the updated survey should include a larger amount of questions from the original NPI 16 survey. This will generate a larger variation in the average narcissism scores and may produce more accurate results, as each question won't have as strong of an effect on the final score. If after a new study is done and the results are the same, we suggest that marketers for both facility types do primary and secondary research to determine what motivations and personality traits are driving customers to their facilities. This will allow them more insight on how to appeal to their current audience and grow their target market. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
We hope you found our study interesting. Thanks again.